From the most simple locations to the most unexpected. Stay tuned to number 1 to find out the best vacation spots in the world on a budget. Number 10. Camping. Okay, it may seem like a cop-out, but if you're the outdoorsy type, then there's few things better than just going out into the world today and seeing what nature has to offer. And if you pick a park or a camping site with the right amount of activities, you won't just stay there for a single night, you can do a whole weekend or a whole week. There are plenty of great camping spots all over the world, and so getting to one is just as easy as looking up locations on your phone or your computer. As for activities, you can go fishing, canoeing, or kayaking. There are plenty of hiking trails, you can go animal watching, make a campfire and cook some marshmallows, and more. And when the night sky comes around, then you can go and enjoy the wonders of a fully starlit sky, which you definitely won't get to do in most cities. Now, it won't be completely free, obviously, as you'll likely have to buy camping gear like a tent or a sleeping bag, or rent an RV, which is fine, but compared to the cost of other high-end vacations, yeah, camping is a pretty good deal. Number 9. San Antonio, Texas. Texas is a very interesting state in the United States, as it's one filled with history and a lot of popular cities. But then you have other areas of the state where there just isn't anything to look at. When you think of Texas, you likely think of places like Dallas or Houston, or even El Paso. But if you want a good vacation for a low price, then you might want to consider going to San Antonio. Now, usually a big city like this would go to great lengths to charge you for certain attractions, but not San Antonio. In fact, one of the biggest attractions to the city is literally built into it via the Riverwalk, where you can walk beside the river that flows through the city and get to see all the sights and people that are across it. Plus, San Antonio also has a cathedral that does a light show for people every single night. And because it's a city steeped in culture, you'll find all sorts of great food places to treat you no matter what your palate is. And if you're up for spending a little money, the city also has a Six Flags amusement park for you to enjoy. Number 8. Hawaii. Before we talk about this unexpected location, take a moment to like this video and join the Zero to Hero community by using the buttons below. Okay, hold on. I can already hear you complaining. Going to Hawaii is not cheap. Except it kind of is, if you plan it right. Hawaii is not only a great place to go, but it's becoming a rather cheap one. Recent years have actually gotten the airfare for a trip to Hawaii to go down substantially. I mean, it's not like a $5 ticket, but it's also not the hundreds you sometimes pay to go across a large body of water like you do to go to Hawaii. So the biggest hurdle is already taken care of. You have a simple, safe, and rather inexpensive plane ride. And then the only other question you need to ask yourself is, what do I do now? And that's the beautiful part about Hawaii. There's a lot to do there. You can go and enjoy the infinite amount of beaches, take up surfing, go hiking through the wilderness, hang out with the locals, see fire and hula dancing, or more simply, just relax. The serenity and peace of the Hawaiian Islands are a reason why they're so popular, and while that does make them a little crowded at times, if you plan your trip right, you'll be having a relaxing experience from top to bottom. Plus, since the islands have been in numerous movies and TV shows like Magnum P.I. and Hawaii Five-0, just to name a few, you can go around and recognize all of the famous locations that the shows have shown you. Number 7. Puebla, Mexico. Mexico is another great tourist destination, if you go to the right places, that is. After all, there's plenty of historical monuments and legacies that have been crafted by many ancient cultures, including the Aztecs. But if you're looking for a cheaper and, most importantly, less crowded area, then you'll want to go to Puebla, Mexico. This is a bit ironic actually, because Puebla is Mexico's 4th largest city, so you'd think that a lot of people would be there, and yet they're not. Which is better for you because it'll give you plenty of time and space to explore all of the wonders that the city has to offer. And trust me when I say it's a lot, especially if you're a person that likes to enjoy architecture of the ancient world. There are plenty of church buildings and other architecture for you to enjoy and marvel at, all at your own pace and time. The best part though might just be that it's a UNESCO heritage site, which means that it's protected, and thus the quality of the buildings will never be diminished or harmed. Never knock the power of a tranquil and peaceful vacation, and this just might be that for you. Number 6. St. Helena. St. Helena is an island in the South Atlantic Ocean. It's very much off the beaten path, which is very much a boon to people who don't want to go to the usual destinations. The air ride to get to the place can be a little tricky, but once you land, you'll find a cheap and beautiful vacation spot that is just steeped in gorgeous views and wonders. This is a great place to go hiking, and when you go through the numerous trails, you'll find more and more sights to greet you as you go along. Plus, the island is English by nature, so you'll find a mix of cultures that will give you some interesting adventures and stories to talk about. And for you golfers out there, there's a world-renowned course here for you to go on. So come on, take a chance on a place you likely didn't know about before and have some fun in a unique way. Number 5. Montana. There are 50 states in the country known as America, but when you're viewing a list of places where you think you want to go, Montana likely isn't in the top 25, if not even lower. But why is that? Well, the stigma around the place is that it's a great big wilderness that nobody lives in, which is both true and not. Montana does have a large wilderness area, but there are plenty of people who live in it, over 1 million in fact. It's just that when you put 1 million people over the large surface area that Montana has, it just seems empty, which is a benefit for you. Montana has some of the most untouched and unhampered lands in the United States, which means that if you go to it, you'll likely get to see beauty refined. Plus, there are some famous landmarks there, like Glacier National Park. Fun fact, the video game Far Cry 5 is actually set in a fictional county in Montana, and the team from Ubisoft went to the state and took all sorts of videos and photos just to make sure that they capture the beauty and aesthetic. And now, the game is so popular that Montana is even trying to use it to bring in tourists. What a world. Number 4. Balkan Peninsula. Most people look at Europe as a continent and think of it as a bucket list kind of place. If you don't already live there, obviously, but not a place you'd go on a vacation because it's usually expensive to do things there. But if you want to go there and you want to save some money while also having a good time, go to the Balkan Peninsula. This is a slew of places that starts in part in Herceg-Novi, Montenegro, and you can also go to Bosnia-Herzegovina, and should you want to spend a little more money, Croatia. The best part about the Balkan Peninsula is that there are not only plenty of activities to do, but they're all very cheap, including kayaking, diving, paragliding, and so much more. Plus, the area is just plain beautiful, and so you shouldn't miss out on a chance to go and see this place if you get the opportunity. Number 3. Buenos Aires, Argentina. Ironically, this may be one of the most famous places on this list, let alone in the world. But the truth about Buenos Aires is that this is a place that is actually pretty cheap to not just go to, but to enjoy. First and foremost, the place is littered with gorgeous architecture from the Europeans that helped build it. And then scattered throughout the city are an endless array of parks and fun areas for you to visit, roam around, and play in with your kids. Then you need to get something to eat, and there are plenty of cheap and fun places to get something, including wine or even ice cream. Plus, because it's in South America, it makes for a perfect and cheap winter vacation to escape the cold weather, which most of us would definitely enjoy. Number 2. South Africa. South Africa may get a bad reputation because of its history and the diamond trade. But there's no doubt in the world that it's one of the most unique and exotic places that you can go to and enjoy tons of adventures. As many have noted, while flying there can be a pain depending on your starting location, once you get there, just about everything is cheap, even Ubering. And then once you settle in, you can go and enjoy the amazing waters of the country, see a lot of exotic animals, go hiking through mountains and forests, and experience the local culture. If you're really looking to get an adventure, you can even go and dive with the great white sharks via the dive tours that they offer. Number 1. Transylvania, Romania. So, who wants to be a vampire? Come on, don't be shy. the biting is the only painful part. I kid. I'm talking, of course, about the city in Romania known as Transylvania. Despite all the legends and myths about this place, Transylvania is not only one of the cheapest places to go and enjoy, but it's also home to some of the nicest people in the world. Full stop. The people of Transylvania actually embrace the legends thrown at them and then turn them on their heads by being incredibly kind and courteous to all who come in. But that doesn't mean that part of the legends aren't true. This is an ancient city, and to that end you'll find beautiful castles, classic architecture, and even more. Plus lots of great food, and all at relatively low prices. So ignore what you've heard and go enjoy Transylvania. Never thought you'd hear that one in your lifetime, right? Have you ever visited any of the places on this list? Let us know in the comments below and take care.